In this week's episode, we take a look at a festive film based around Nintendo's iconic 8-bit console.
Atari are set to publish 3 previously unreleased Atari 2600 titles.
And a staple of 90s British gaming TV has returned. I'm Barry.
And I'm Anthony. And this is episode 43 of the Retro Gaming Dads podcast, the podcast for everything retro and retro inspired.
Have you done it this week?
Have I done what?
Have you put your Christmas decorations up?
Mate, my Christmas decorations have been up for like 2 weeks. That's... As soon as my middle child now, I was going to say youngest, Ash is now the middle child. As soon as Ash's birthday came round, the day after his birthday, Esther's like, let's get the tree up. Tree went up, and then that was it. It's just gone from there. So since the 20th of November, we've had Christmas decorations up in our house.
I don't know who gets more excited about them, your kids or you.
No, I don't. I'm excited about Christmas and everything else, but decorations, they just... Because my house is so big. So many decorations.
Oh, I don't mind putting the decorations up. I just absolutely despise untangling the Christmas lights. Like, that's literally the most stressful thing of the year that I do.
You saw me yesterday at work, didn't you, trying to do those lights for that tree?
Yeah.
That was driving me around the bend.
That's why I was like, why don't you just leave them? No one will notice.
I would notice, though, you need to have lights on the tree.
I would have just threw them over and whatever stuck to the tree, that was good enough. Are you starting to get into the festive mood, at least?
Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like I'm always in a very annoyingly cheery mood sometimes. And when it comes to Christmas, it gets even more.
Maybe not cheery, but definitely annoying.
Oh, shut up.
I asked this, though, asking if you're in a festive mood. I see that you're wearing a t-shirt with stormtroopers and Santa hats.
Yeah, they are. With
this giant tree right behind you on the webcam. Unknown amount of little Santas, it looks like, on your shelves. Plus,
oh, yeah.
Is that a Santa walking with 2 geese? The picture on the wall?
It is. On the picture, yeah.
Right.
That's only what you can see.
Well, behind me, I have nothing, though.
You've got nothing.
Absolutely nothing. I've got a Christmas tree downstairs and a little one in Elliot's room. That's about it.
In all fairness, if we're to go upstairs, the boys have a Christmas tree in their room and that's it, really. So, got off slightly upstairs. But talking about the festive mood and Christmas and everything else, we've got a Christmas movie that is game-based. Oh, sorry, console-based. Do apologise. Console-based.
Kind of. So I sent you the trailer for this about a week or so ago, didn't I?
Yes.
8-bit Christmas.
Yeah.
With Neil Patrick Harris from How I Met Your Mother. And I actually watched this the other night. Unfortunately, in the UK at the moment, I don't know if there's a legitimate way to watch it, because this is a HBO Max like streaming premiere or something similar.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I had to fudge it a little bit, VPN and
dubious ways.
Yeah. No, do you know what? Me and Kerry watched it, and it's a really nice Christmas movie. She'll not like me saying this, but by the end of the movie, she was in tears.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's a really nice Christmas movie. Definitely one to watch with your partner and your kids and that. It's actually not that focused on gaming at all.
Yeah, from the trailer, it looked like it was. From the trailer, really telling the story of how much you wanted it. And then, you said to me you watched it and you were like, it could have been replaced with anything, unfortunately.
Yeah, you could have replaced the NES with any other toy from the 80s and the film would have still worked in the exact same way. Have you ever seen How I Met Your Mother, just out of curiosity?
Oh, yeah.
So you know the setup of that where it's Ted talking to his kids and he's reminiscing about how he met his mother.
Yeah.
It's basically the same setup. So he goes round to his parents with his daughter and they're talking about Christmas. And then he starts reminiscing about how he got the NES and what he did over Christmas. He really wanted this console. That's the setup for it. So initially, they're both playing on it while they're talking. But then when it cuts back to them halfway through the film, they're not even playing on the NES as far as I remember. So it's not integral. It's just probably just a bit of brand recognition, to be honest. There's a movie about a NES. Let's go watch it. I must admit, that's the only reason I watched it.
I mean, how many movies can you think about out there that are game related? Like this, at least. Where it is focused on a console like this.
There's quite a few. This isn't the first time. One of the earliest movies, which was kind of based around gaming in general, was The Wizard, which is essentially a feature-length advert for Super Mario Bros. 3.
Oh, okay.
And that was based around them going to this like Nintendo World Championship tour or something similar to that. So it's not uncommon for this type of movie, especially with Nintendo at the forefront of it.
I guess I mean more along the lines of it's a different take, definitely with the gaming console. You know, he's talking about his childhood, and I don't know. It seems like a feel good family movie
Yeah.
at Christmas time about console. Do you know what I mean? I can't think of one that's sort of fits this sort of genre.
Yeah, as I say though, the fact that Nintendo's in it, it doesn't have any impact on the movie whatsoever.
Ah,
Have you ever seen the movie Jingle All the Way?
yes,
Can you remember what the toy is that he's after?
Turbo Man.
Turbo Man. Right, if you swap that out for any other toy, that would have no impact on the movie, would it?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly the same with this. You could
Ah,
have
okay.
swapped the NES out with anything else. It wouldn't have dramatically changed the movie. As a Christmas movie, I really enjoyed it. It was really, really good.
Might be a good one to watch with Esther then.
As a gaming movie, it wasn't really a gaming movie.
Ah, okay.
Definitely anyone who's got access to HBO Max, really nice little movie. I'll say Kerry was in tears at the end.
Esther is a Christmas movie, so I'm sure it's one that should happily watch.
Moving on from an old 8-bit console to somewhat of a more modern console, PolyMega is set to release a new module to enable N64 support.
Saying that about PolyMega though, it's out and you can buy it. Please be aware of the price. Please be aware of the wait time.
Do
Please
you
be
know what?
aware of.
Still quite a wait time on it. I think it's early next year.
Mm.
However, you can now buy it direct from their website and it's
Oh, can you?
significantly cheaper. So whereas it was like close to £500 if you got through Amazon through the distributor,
Yeah.
I think it was about 350 if you go to the
All right.
website. Now it's still very expensive, especially for the spec of the actual machine.
Especially because you can get
Um,
like a Series S for
well,
£100 less
yeah.
than that.
Do you know what? For £100 less, you can buy a Series S, put it in developer mode, stick your emulators on there as well.
Yep.
But no, it's quite a unique idea. And the fact that they are supporting it going forward as well with new systems, in this case, Nintendo 64, that's reassuring.
Yes, they're still giving updates, still put more to it. You know, they could bring other systems to the console as well,
Yeah.
as of the cores. So
So this is
that
now
will
the
come out.
fifth console
Okay.
that you can get the module for. So you can get the Mega Drive and Genesis, NES and Famicom, although you need an adapter for Famicom games,
Yeah.
the SNES, and the TurboGrafx 16.
Okay. So if you're to purchase all of them all together, how much are you looking at getting set back?
I don't know with the N64 one, only for the fact that it's
They've not
not
released it
actually
yet.
available at the moment. They've just announced
Yeah.
that it's coming. But if I just go to the shop really quickly to buy the bundle of the 4 existing packs plus the console is £497.
So that's cheaper than just buying the the one from Amazon just for the core.
Yes.
No pen.
That includes as well one wireless controller plus 4 controllers for the 4 systems: Mega Drive, NES, SNES, and TurboGrafx 16.
That's not too bad.
No, it's not bad.
It's
It is
it's still a
expensive,
lot of
but
money. Yeah.
it wasn't prohibitively
But for
expensive
what
like
it
it was
was
originally.
going on for,
Yeah,
you know, what you could originally only buy it through Amazon for,
yeah.
it's not as bad.
And as we've mentioned previously as well, reviews are a bit mixed on this. So they're praising the software for it, but criticizing the hardware.
Yeah.
You know, it's a bit underpowered, but for what it's set out to do, it's adequate. However,
I
you
mean,
won't
it's
be
not.
playing GameCube or PlayStation 2 titles on this system in the future. Oh, yeah, just bear in mind as well, as on top of those systems that you can play with the modules, just the console on its own, you can play Saturn, PlayStation 1, Neo Geo CD. I can't think what the TurboGrafx CD games were called, but you can play them as well.
So you've got nearly what 8 different consoles, soon to be 9.
Oh, yeah, for £500, you got like 8 or 9 consoles that you can start playing actual media with, plus 5 controllers, for the relevant consoles. And you
I
can
mean,
bring your own as well if you got your originals.
a Series X.
Well, yeah, in
Disgusting.
all fairness, if you could get hold of one, it's the cost of a
Yes,
Series X.
scalpers done you.
Bloody
Let's not
scalpers.
go down that one. But it is an impressive bit of kit. Don't get me wrong. It is. It's not one that I would be going for. I think mainly because you know of these game consoles, I've only really had a play with the Dreamcast or the N64. They're the only sort of console I've ever really tried. So the PolyMega is one for me, but I'm impressed by it. They've done a fantastic job. Um, I can't really knock the idea at all, but it's just one that wouldn't be sitting on my desk anytime soon.
I'd love one of these, but I couldn't really justify the cost, to be honest.
I get it.
Especially it.
You're waiting for your Steam Deck, so stuff that.
Yeah, yeah. I'll just load the Steam Deck up. But again, it's great to see that they're looking to support this going forward in the future as well with new modules. Beyond the modules that they've announced or already released, what would you like to see come into the PolyMega in the future? Bear in mind, I don't think it'll go any higher than the maybe Dreamcast, but no higher than like GameCube, PlayStation 2 titles on the spec it is.
I don't know.
Are you trying to think what other consoles were before then?
Yeah,
I can see your face. I can see you thinking, "God, was anything out before the original PlayStation?"
I know the one. Shut up.
Do you know what? I'd like to see one for maybe like Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games.
Do you know that would be pretty cool?
But another system I'm sure they'll bring a module out is for the classic Ataris. Not so popular in the UK as they were in the US, but they're definitely popular systems outside of like what I at least consider mainstream Sega, Microsoft, Nintendo, Sony.
Yeah.
And not only that, Atari are actually going to publish some previously unreleased Atari 2600 games.
Yeah, we mentioned it at the start. I was not expecting to hear them releasing any new games because when was the last time they released an Atari game?
Oh, don't ask me. Bear in mind, this console kind of caused the video game crash in the US in 1983. Just to give you a rough idea of when the console was like
Well,
on its deathbed.
that was 7 years before me, so
That's before me.
and you're old.
Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Which I actually thought was quite funny that the limited edition versions of these
I was
games
about to
are
say.
limited to 1,983 copies each.
I was about to say, what is the? That's a very very well done timing, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Between.
You know, just in case you forget, it was Atari's fault, or depending on what you say, ET's fault actually.
Oh, I've seen that game and I can, yeah.
In all fairness, all Atari's 2600 games look like that. They weren't that great.
So is it 3 games they've announced so far?
Yeah, so this is like a new publishing arm that they're doing called Atari XP, which apparently they
Okay.
got the name from an old Atari magazine called the Atari Exchange Program.
Yeah.
There's 3 titles: Yars Return, sequel to Yars Revenge; Saboteur, which was an unreleased title; and the final title is Aquaventure, which is actually kind of like a fan-made game or an indie game,
Okay.
if you would, which they're also releasing as well. And all these games come on actual cartridge that you can just slam into your Atari. Maybe not slamming, the system's
Place
what,
in.
like
Don't
40
want to break
years
your
old now.
Atari after this, after having it for so long. I haven't got a new game. Oh, I've
Yeah.
killed it.
And the Atari's dead. And it comes boxed. So standard editions are $49.99. You can get the limited edition versions for $149.99, which come in like oversized boxes with additional
Okay.
content inside them. And all these are available from AtariXP.com.
So are these only being released as Atari cartridges?
Yes, these are Atari 2600 games released as physical Atari 2600
That's
games.
pretty cool. And I reckon they will get a decent amount of sales from them due to them being Atari games get re-released. And I mean,
Yeah.
the amount of times you speak about Atari in the office, stuff like that, and quite a lot of people I hear it mentioned a lot. I'm like, flipping heck, people.
You're like, Atari? Who are they? What, the publisher? Or the brand that I always see on like a bagging game? Or cryptocurrency creator? In all fairness, Atari's been all over the place the last
They
couple of
have.
decades. It's quite nice to see physical games coming out for old systems, and we do see this
Yes.
quite regularly with like limited run games. But this is Atari re-releasing Atari games, which is
Yeah, it is an actual shock because it's been so long since they've released any games. Then to all of a sudden go, hang on a minute, we're going to give you some new content.
yeah, you know, I'm guessing a lot of people have moved on from the Ataris nowadays, though. But better late than never.
I don't know. Has gaming industry moved that much since then?
Yeah, I think new consoles are like a little bit more powerful than
It's
the old Atari 2600.
That'll be a nice thing to have. Do we have any information for the releases? Oh no, they're available now, aren't they? Sorry.
Yeah, you can go on. I say you
Oh,
can go on and
yes.
actually purchase them now.
We'll put a link into the show notes in case you want to go in and grab some Atari games.
Well, yeah, I don't know if anyone ever reads them, but as always, we put all this information in the show notes.
If you read them, please let us know if it's helpful for you.
And leave us a review. We need reviews. But just really quickly, while we're on the subject of the podcast, it's been nearly a year since we started this podcast now. 11 months.
What? Oh yeah, we started around about last Christmas, didn't we?
1st of January was our first episode. So in that time, we have released 43 episodes, plus a few bonus ones scattered here and there.
Yeah.
Can you guess how many minutes worth of recording we've actually published? Not how much we've actually done, but how much we've actually released.
Because when you said that, you posted in the chat the other day about how much you've released. I'm like, I
Go on,
know that.
without looking, see if you can remember.
Wasn't it 1,739 minutes of released?
Oh yeah, your memory's better than I expected, to be honest.
I literally only saw it as a flash the other day as well, but I was just, I remember it was 1,739. I just didn't know if there was another number in there. Unreleased contents, I'm going to take a stab at 3,277.
Oh, I have no idea for unreleased content.
All right, I thought he was going to ask for that one.
I haven't got a clue of that, but not including this episode, because obviously this isn't published.
Yes.
As you correctly probably looked up on Skype.
Don't give me that. Shut up.
We've
Give my dues.
1,739 minutes of content over 42 episodes.
Flipping heck.
Right. Bear in mind, if you add that together, that's something like 28 hours, I think it is, of content, something roughly about that. For every hour of content, it takes me about 3 hours to edit this. So I reckon I've lost like weeks to this podcast so far. So we really appreciate it if you could just leave us a review, even if it's a bad review. Just as long as it's constructive, and you tell us what you do and don't like.
Rather than just saying you're bad.
Yeah, because that's so ambiguous. You might be going, "Oh, you're so bad," or you might go, "Oh no, you are so bad." Give it up.
Saying that, did we shared it onto Reddit at one point, didn't we? And we had quite a few listeners listen to it on Reddit, and we got quite a lot of feedback from them, and they was all positive.
Yeah, so hello if you're one of those Reddit listeners.
Yes, we do appreciate it. Thank you for your feedback, and hope you enjoyed it still.
Everyone who listens to this podcast.
We enjoy doing it.
So thank you, Mum. My mum wouldn't listen to this. She'd be going, "Oh, I don't know about video games."
Yeah, that's it. My dad enjoys video games. I don't think he listens to it either, even though I tell him time and time again.
I don't think my mum has ever played a video game in her life, like any game at all. Oh, no, sorry. My mum, I know one game my mum's played that every single mum and grandmother has played.
What's that?
Wii Bowling.
Okay.
Beyond that, though, beyond Wii Sports and Wii Fit, I really can't think of any game my mum has ever played. My dad's played a few. When I was a kid, he used to play Road Rash 2, and he played some like Burnout 2 on the GameCube and Xbox. And as I mentioned previously, he plays Angry Birds with the volume all the way up. I don't even think he plays it. I think he just turns it on just to annoy everyone around him.
Leave it in the back. Just leave it running in the background. Yeah. You're like, just turn it off.
Well, should we try and get a bit back on topic now that we had our little divergence?
Yeah. Talk about going back on topic. Epic Games has made a purchase. They've purchased Harmonix, haven't they?
Yeah.
Harmonix is the publisher who created things like Rock Band and was it just Rock Band and Guitar Hero as well, wasn't it? I think.
They've done
Yes, it
other
was.
games, but they're definitely the ones
They
most well known for.
Yeah. So I mean, intrigued to see if they do decide to do anything else with them. I don't know about you, but I absolutely loved Rock Band and Guitar Hero.
Well, they're
World Tour at
still
least.
producing them now.
They are, but can you actually still get the drums and that for the Series X and S and that?
No, I think they're more like controller and PC based now.
See, that's the thing. I would happily still get one of those band sets and play them in my living room and get Samson down and say, Samson, come on, come and play the drum kit.
I wouldn't. They take up so much space in my loft. I've got 2 guitars and the big, massive Rock Band set as well, and I think I played it, like, once.
I remember I used to play with my brothers, and it used to be something we used to do every Sunday afternoon. Every Sunday afternoon, we'd normally take all the kit downstairs into the front room, and we'll take over the front room. Have both guitars, the drum set, and the microphone all going off at the same time, and absolutely loved it.
Oh, no. I just remember playing Lego Rock Band because it had Ghostbusters in it.
I never played that one.
I've still got them.
To me, if I think playing any of those games is the Halo theme in Guitar Hero.
Oh, yeah, Guitar Hero 3, I think that was.
Yeah,
Could
because that was
download it.
a bonus track that came out. It didn't come with the game, did it?
No, no,
Pretty sure it was a
I
bonus
think I
track,
actually had to pay for that. A couple of quid
and
for it, if I remember
it was
right.
the Halo 2 theme, so it obviously had the
Yeah,
guitar riffs and everything else. Really, really enjoyed it.
yeah. Epic has actually said that they've got no plans to discontinue any of the current projects that they're working on, including future DLC. So that should continue into 2022.
Okay.
But I'd be interested to see what they come out with. Maybe some sort of VR version of Rock Band.
Yes. They might come out with quite a few different types, and Epic Games is such a big publisher. You know,
Yeah.
Harmonix come into it. You never know, they might be able to create some really good new games and make a change in at least the music side of games.
Yeah. You just won't see them on iOS.
No,
That, as far as I'm aware, they're still not back on
talking
iOS after the whole Fortnite thing.
awkward.
So, last bit of news, and I'm curious if you ever saw this back in the day, but Games Master is returned to a screen near you.
Now, Games Master obviously is one of those gaming shows that was very popular early 2000s, I'd say,
90s.
late 90s.
No, like early
I,
to mid
I remember
90s.
seeing I remember seeing one on, I think it was Sky One, early 2000s, and they had a genie, not a Games Master. I remember that. There was a game show that, but I remember there was a couple of them knocking around early 2000s. Sure, there was.
Yeah, early 2000s, yeah. Some of us like the only one I can really remember was Bits, but I didn't like that. When I was a kid, there was Games Master on Channel 4 and there was Bad Influence on CITV. They were the 2 shows that I used to watch.
Gamesville. That's what I used to watch.
Gamesville, that sounds like some sort of off-brand Games Master rip-off.
Maybe, but that's from 2003 to 2004. I remember watching that again because as a game genie told you all these different cheats and stuff like that, and you just text him for help. And I quite enjoyed watching those sorts of gaming shows because that's where I used to get all of my upcoming gaming information, because I would normally tell you a lot about different things that are coming up. Again, they'll normally have competitions against different people, that sort of thing. I quite enjoyed it, and I think it's a shame that they don't really do those sorts of TV programs anymore.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is only a mini series. I think it's 3
Yes.
episodes that they're running.
Is it only
By
on
the time
YouTube as
you,
well?
well, it's coming to E4, which is a UK digital channel, but you can watch it on YouTube before it broadcasts on E4.
Oh,
Probably
okay.
by the time this podcast comes out, I think all the episodes will be out.
Okay.
Definitely the first 2 are already out.
Oh, I will give it a watch.
I did watch the first episode, and it
Yep.
did give me quite a nostalgic feeling for the original Games Master. They've definitely captured the essence of the early seasons of Games Master really well.
Okay.
The hosts seem fine. The actual contestants,
Not so great.
not so much.
Yeah, watching the trailer, it was a bit odd people.
Yeah, there was one where they were playing Call of Duty, and it was these 2 girls, and it just kind of like bigged them up quite a bit, and then they just fluffed it.
Really?
They didn't seem that good. Now, I'm not saying, "Oh, I'm better than them." I was expecting them to be really good.
If you're gonna come on a game show and play a game, you want some amazing.
Yeah, in all fairness, the original series was like that. You used to get, especially when they got celebrities on, and the celebrities would be playing like, I don't know, Ryan Giggs playing Ryan Giggs soccer or something, and he couldn't even play his own game that he'd put his name to or something.
Well, there was during the trailer, there was a kid coming in with a boxing robe and some boxing gloves, and wasn't there?
Yeah, you used to get that all the time where they come in like really
It was just like the
overconfident.
cheesy, yeah,
But the whole thing with Games Master is if you went on and you won your challenge, you'd get, instead of a little trophy, you got the golden joystick,
oh yeah,
which was their reward. And they're quite sought after, actually, by
are they?
people, collectors and people on eBay and that. Quite prized by the people who won them as well. Probably, again, because of the nostalgia associated with it. But no, I quite liked it. Unfortunately, the original series had Dominic Diamond as the host on the early seasons, which I don't think they could replace him, to be honest. Unfortunately, he hasn't come back for these seasons. And unfortunately, the Games Master was Sir Patrick Moore,
Yeah,
who passed away quite a few years ago now. So obviously, he couldn't come back. But they have got Sir Trevor McDonald, the newscaster,
yeah. But
which
his face
I
looks
think,
disturbing in that picture. In
in
the
all
picture
fairness,
in the show
that's
notes.
what the actual Games Master
No, I
looked
know.
like. I actually think he's got the same sort of personality around him that the original Games Master did.
Yeah,
Where obviously Sir Patrick Moore had no idea about video games whatsoever. So these kids were coming on going, "Oh, Games Master, how do I get to the second level of Super Mario Brothers 3?" And he'd be like, "Well, in this game, you can use a warp pipe to skip half the level at this point." And he obviously had no idea what he was on about
yeah.
at all. And he goes,
Had like a
"There you
script to
go.
read through.
Now go off and actually play the game and get good instead of mithering me," or something like that. And he was just like really blunt. Same sort of attitude that the new Games Master has. So that
Ah,
fits.
okay.
And I think again seeing, because I didn't know who the Games Master was going to be, and when I started watching, I was like, Trevor McDonald, seriously. And then the way he started talking to them, I was like, oh yeah, it kind of actually fits. With if you watched it now, fresh, you'd probably be like, why have they got this guy?
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. But tying back
From
to the
watching
original
the
Games
before
Master, you're
ones,
like, oh yeah, it fits.
that
It
thing,
fits.
it's good to see and hear that they have decided to go down the route of linking it in together rather than
Yeah,
just making it completely brand new, changing it all up. Because you're re-released. They've essentially re-released Games Master for these 3 special episodes. If
yeah.
they fluffed it up, then they've ruined a lot of people's, I guess, childhoods from when they watched it.
Well, yeah. One thing that it's sorely lacking from the original series, though, is the hordes of salivating, screaming kids in the background. Which obviously, with everything that's going on in the world
Yeah, they
with
couldn't do.
COVID and Omicron and whatever, Transformers, the name of the next version after, that just wasn't feasible for them, obviously. I'm hoping this actually does well so that
They
perhaps
create more.
Channel 4 E4 can look at it and go, do you know what? It did. And I think bringing it to YouTube's a fantastic move. Because
Hey,
if this was on E4,
yeah,
I wouldn't watch it.
yeah. E4 is a free service anyway, so why not put onto YouTube? Well, it just makes sense.
Put it up on YouTube. Make me watch it, 2 adverts at the beginning and then another 2 adverts 5 minutes in. I don't mind.
Bit irritating, but well,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
we need to do is if they do decide to make it a permanent thing, find out the recording and try and get to a recording.
Well, that's the thing. You used to be able to just ask and just turn up.
Yeah.
You could imagine it,
Well,
couldn't you? Welcome to the new series of Games Master. It just zooms out as loads of kids going, yeah! And then you just see us in the background going, all these other
like
like
all the kids are
8-year-old
down in
kids.
front of us, and where they're
Yeah,
going, get out of the way, I want to get the front.
yeah. I'd probably be put on some sort of register.
Wait,
But
you're
no,
not already?
it was quite fun to watch. I'll definitely watch the next episode this weekend.
I will have to
And
watch it.
yeah, but it's on YouTube. It's just search for it.
No,
But
we'll do, and I'll watch it. Because I was looking forward to it.
I think that's it for this episode now, isn't it?
It is, yes. I thought it was quite a good news week. Quite enjoyed some news we had,
Yeah.
some surprises, and I am excited to watch this 8-bit Christmas.
And don't forget, when you hear this podcast, if you're hearing it on the day it comes out, 2 more days.
Oh yeah, till Halo.
Yeah. Took you a moment to realise that then.
I was like thinking, what? I was like, oh yeah. Ah, can't wait.
Yeah, especially since you took 2 days off work to play it.
Don't give me that. You know.
Oh, let me guess. It was just a coincidence that you managed to book the 2 days after the game comes out off work. Oh, don't you hate it when that happens?
Oh well, I'm sorry that coincidence end up being my sons have school plays on those 2 days, and they want me to go to them. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna book them off. So I might be up until early as the morning playing the campaign. Oh, that's an accident.
Yeah, I swear to God, if you ruin anything about it, though, I'm not going to be happy. I'm not going to be happy
Wait,
at all.
you're never happy anyway.
I'm going to be even less happy. Yeah, 1 second. That's my festive hat.
Do you know what? I remember you wearing that last year. Did you wear that last year?
No, I only got it this year. I
So,
was going to wait the last week before Christmas and then realised I booked it off.
okay. So, Barry's wearing a bar humbug Santa hat. Now, Barry is a bit of a humbug at Christmas. We're
Nah,
decorating the
humbug.
office and he's there just
Hey,
going,
you're
"Oh,
lucky
why
I'm
don't
even
you
calling it
Christmas?"
Christmas. I still keep slipping up and calling it peak instead. That's what
That's the
happens when you
thing.
work in retail for like 16 years.
You're not retail anymore, so get out of that slump and enjoy Christmas for once.
It's
You don't
drilled
work
into me
Christmas
though.
now. Yeah, but you don't work Christmas anymore, so how can it
I
be the
know, but
win?
it's
You
still
just,
it's still drilled into me, isn't it? It's still a habit calling it peak. Used to get shouted at when I worked in retail for calling it Christmas.
Oh, that's ridiculous. When I used to work in retail, we always used to call it Christmas. There was never a mention of peak, but I guess I was in a supermarket rather than a electronics store. So
Well, the peak season, which was kind of November, December, January, was where you made like 70% a year profit for the year.
see, I guess that's different because obviously with I I used to work at Tesco's. It's quite a bit different. 'Cause it's just busy all year round until everyone's like mad rush last minute buying
Yeah.
stuff. Doesn't really make a difference for us.
Oh, we used to get last day before Christmas, Christmas Eve, 3 o'clock when the shutters are coming down, the like Indiana Jones style roll under the shutter and go, you're open, mate. Well, no, you nearly got crushed by the shutter. What, do you think we're open? It's like, oh yeah, well, I just need to get some things for me kids. Have you got like an Xbox Series X, a PlayStation 5, a Tamagotchi, whatever the most sought after things were?
Yeah.
And they'd be like, you got them? No. Oh, you ruined my kid's Christmas. Like, oh, what a shame.
Oh, diddums. We're closed. Go away.
Yeah.
Well, when it comes to Christmas season, you're out shopping. Please be considerate of the retail staff.
Yeah, actually, no, they're genuinely. Just
No, seriously.
say thanks. And just tell
Yeah.
them you hope they have a nice Christmas.
Oh, seriously.
Because
I remember
chances
used to.
are they'll spend Christmas Day thinking, how am I going to get to work on Boxing Day?
Yeah.
For everyone to come in complaining or wanting 50% off everything. So, yeah, just be considerate.
Yeah.
Maybe buy
Be
them some
thoughtful.
sweets. That'd be a really nice gesture. Just like a little packet of sweets for them to share, keep their energy
Oh,
up.
honestly, the amount of abuse I used to get during Christmas time working in retail was horrible. Just
Yep.
because they wanted reductions cheaper than what they're actually at. That's all it was. I'm like, I'm literally doing it as per what the system says. Why are you coming to me to complain?
Like, don't get me wrong, retail isn't the worst job in the world. It's much worse, but
Yeah.
it's the one that a lot of people are going to interact with. Just say thank you. Just be nice. It's not
Well, yeah,
hard.
I remember going into a lot of gaming stores, going to CS, going into GameStop when it was there. The staff was absolutely amazing. Going during
Yeah.
Christmas, it was. I loved going in there, chatting to the staff. The staff's great. So as much as you might be able to go into another store and the staff might not be as festive,
Yeah.
maybe they just had a bad customer before you. So
Well, that's the thing. You could have 20 great customers, but one really bad customer can just be the only thing that you can focus on, unfortunately.
yeah, unless you've worked in retail before, you will not understand how much of a bad customer can be. They can be absolutely horrible too sometimes. And
Absolutely.
honestly, it's disgusting. But there's an employee there going, "What do you want?" They leave, you have a cry, and they get on with your day.
Well, yeah. Right. Anyway, that's a bit of a tangent. Maybe this will end up in the the end of the
And-
podcast or on the Patreon only version.
yes.
But come on, let's, as we do for Christmas, let's wrap it up.
So cheesy.
Yeah, speaking of which, I have actually started wrapping Christmas presents.
Oh yeah, in your standard brown wrapping paper.
Yeah.
with a to Phil. Happy birthday, love, Barry and Anthony. Phil, your presents here.
Yeah, just need to actually track him down.
Give
Now.
it to him.
What
Yeah.
are you on about? You mean my festive plain brown paper wrap with a printed sticker on the top?
You do that all year round, regardless of anything.
Yeah.
Is that
I
hang on?
told you.
Is that even what Eddie gets for his birthday?
Yeah. What? It's recycled paper. It's better for the environment than foil Christmas paper. And more importantly, it's cheap.
One day you'll get Sonic wrapping paper. Actually, that's what you want.
Well, yeah. You know what? I think I have actually got Sonic wrapping paper in the past.
Explains. Doesn't surprise me at all.
My aunt came round and visited us and saw like loads of Halo Mega Blocks, like Lego type things.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they Elliot's. You making them for Elliot? And I was like, no, they're mine. And they went, oh, did your mum not let you have them when you were a kid or something? I went, no, I've got them all within like the last 5 years. I just never built them.
So if someone walks into our room and saw all my Gundam stuff, they'll be like, "Oh, your kids' toys in here." I'm like, then it might go away.
Well, yeah, that's a fair point. The amount of little Lego tanks and Gundams and whatever else you've got on there. Looks more like a Toys R Us in our room sometimes than an actual work environment.
Oh yeah, you're talking about my desk. I was thinking about here. Oh yeah, on my desk at work. I forgot about that.
Well, no, I'm on about other stuff. There's like a little Captain America's snowman as well on
Yeah.
the windowsill.
That's what you got there. That's what you got in last year though.
Yeah. Oh, I need to figure out who I'm getting my Secret Santa.
Oh, me too.
Sorry, what I'm getting my Secret Santa. I know who it is. Right. Anyway,
for me, I'll go to my trusty helper, Esther. Well, that's it for this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed it, please leave a review. Please leave a like to us. Just let us know how we're doing and give us any feedback, please.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. It only takes a minute of your time and it helps us immensely.
We are the Retro Gaming Dads, and we'll see you next time.